Hello, everybody out there. Want to see if this is a new platform. So want to see if everybody can. I have my little helper out there. Yes, you can see the screen. Okay, fantastic. So we're going to get started in a little bit. I just wanted to hop on here a little early to make sure that everything was working correctly. So we have the slides, we have me. Last week I used a different platform. So this is going to be our new one. This is StreamYard, but I don't, anyway, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. We have a couple of minutes. We have 3 minutes. So I am going to, I guess, just go backstage for a little bit and you'll see me in 2 minutes. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our LinkedIn lightning round. My name is Dana, and I'm going to be walking you through a couple of little tips that we can do to really get the most out of LinkedIn. So our goal for today is that you can leave with a nice organized strategy for how to maximize the power and reach of LinkedIn, because it is very powerful and it's got a huge reach, right? But we don't want to dedicate our entire lives to doing this. We just want to make sure that we can go on, get done what we need to get done, and then get back to our day, right? And we're also at the end going to have a little giveaway because we did a raffle from last week's event, and somebody's going to be getting a professionally done LinkedIn banner. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be at the end. Okay, so what are we going to learn today? We are going to learn who are we trying to talk to, what are we trying to do, and how are we trying to do that, okay? So we're here today because of a couple of different reasons. You're mindlessly scrolling through the LinkedIn feed. You don't know how to take advantage of all the LinkedIn has to offer. You don't know how to introduce yourself to somebody who wants to connect with you. You waste a lot of time on LinkedIn, but you don't accomplish very much. You're not confident in posting content. All of these are completely legitimate, and everybody that hops on LinkedIn when they first start has all of those same issues. They just don't know, where to start, what to do, how to interact, that kind of a thing. So we're going to go over a couple of these things here now. Here's a little bit about me. If you have not seen me on LinkedIn, I have been here for a few years now, and I have lots and lots of experience with business, building businesses, social media marketing, and cybersecurity education for non-technical people. I have over 4 million views on LinkedIn and over 2 million views on YouTube. That's my dog, Hank. So at the top of this slide, we have my main program, which is Cyber Social. It's a private, one-on-one, very, very in-depth program. And that's where I work with MSPs, IT companies, cybersecurity companies, those kind of people, or any company that just needs to really start from the ground and put together a LinkedIn, plan. Then I created an online academy because I was repeating myself over and over and over with the one-on-one training. So I have also a online academy. Then I also created from there little micro extractions for boot camps. So we're going to touch base on a little bit of that today. And I just want to give you an idea of, where is this all coming from and what are we trying to do here? These are some of my clients that I have worked with my private cyber social program. If anybody needs any references, I certainly can talk to any of them. And what we're going to talk about today. Okay, so in all of my programs, this is exactly what we do. We go through all these different steps. We identify who we're trying to talk to. What are we going to say to them? We create tons and tons of content. We come up with a strategy, and then we go and we dominate how we're going to market. Today, we're going to talk about the two little steps, identify and strategize, a couple little snippets from there. All right. So what we want to do, again, is maximize 15 minutes a day on LinkedIn. Now, time. We do waste a lot of time. And as Benjamin Franklin said, lost time is never found again. True. And time is what we want most, but what we use worse. I agree with that. I'm definitely guilty of this too. All right. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to be doing some identifying, figuring out what are we trying to do, who are we trying to talk to, and how can we help them. So what I would like you to do is grab a blank piece of paper, because this is all going to be personalized for you and your specific needs. So the first thing I want to talk about is, what are we trying to do here? What are we trying to do on LinkedIn? Everybody has a very, very different goal of what they're trying to do. Are they looking for new prospects if they own a business, looking for a job? I mean, that was basically the foundation of why LinkedIn got started, was headhunters would be looking for people, and people that were looking for a job would be on there. It's obviously extended into a lot of different other areas, but that's a big one. Some people are just interested in industry news, because a lot of people write a lot of really good articles in here. So you can, learn from that. Some people just want a little distraction from reality, just want to hop on and just kind of scroll around a little bit. If you're starting a new career, it's a great place to meet people. One thing I want to say about LinkedIn, which is very different than pretty much every other way that you could reach out to a CEO or a business owner or anything like that, is if you try to call their business, chances are they're going to have a receptionist. She may or may not put your call through. She may or may not take your message. The business owner or whoever you're trying to reach may or may not get the message. And it's the same thing if you, send some mail, maybe they'll look at it, maybe they won't look at it. But one thing that I have found on LinkedIn is that people respond to messages on LinkedIn if you write them correctly. If it's just, hey, I'm asking a question. Hey, I'd like your opinion on this or something like that. What people don't like, I'm included in this, I'm sure you're all included in this too, is when people write messages and they're 25 paragraphs long and they just go on and on and on and on. And then at the very end, it says, hey, you want to hop on a call? No, I don't want to hop on a call. I didn't want to read all that other stuff. Now you want me to hop on a call? So we don't want to do that. But anyway, the point of my story is that you really can get in touch with people that you probably otherwise could not get in touch with. So that's something important about LinkedIn. Okay, back to this. If you're starting a side gig, there's a lot of side gigs going on here, and this is a great place to start to promote it, start to look for people to help you with it, that kind of thing. It's also a really good place to spy on your competition. What are they doing? Are they posting? Do they have their act together? Do they have calls to action? All that kind of good stuff. So you can go check that out. And maybe you just want to get to know other people that are in the same industry. So whatever it is that your goal is, now you may have a couple of different goals, but you want to make sure that we're just going to pick one for now. So pick your main one, and you'll understand why I'm saying just to pick one for now. So whatever your main goal is now, jot that down on your paper. Now I want to say, okay, now that we know what our goal is, who do we help? You know yourself. Do you help small companies, startups, large companies, a very specific industry, a very specific segment of an industry, you know, solopreneurs, a specific department like HR or accounting, that kind of a thing? So you know who you help. And I want to make sure that the answer isn't, well, we can help everybody. Because I run into this a lot with my IT and cybersecurity people, because they can provide IT and cybersecurity for a lot of different companies and organizations and industries. Absolutely. The problem is when we start to try to craft messaging that's going to resonate with them. So we really want to drill down to very, very specific person, group, industry, whatever the case may be, however much you can drill down, we really want to drill down. And I'll talk about that in the next slide. All right, so now that we have this avatar, this person that we are going to be trying to communicate with, now we have to say what problem that they have are you capable of solving? Because that's what it is. It's not how, you know, it's not how they can help you in this situation. It's what can you do to help them, right? So is this something that keeps them up at night? That's a big thing with cybersecurity. Something that makes them more efficient, helps their company grow, assist with their reputational management. Obviously, that's a big deal these days. Makes their job easier, makes their life less hectic, or gives them more free time. Now, I want to use a little example here that I talk about is if we are trying to, let's say I'm a weight loss coach and I say, well, I can help anybody lose weight. It's just calories and exercise. That's all it is. And I try crafting messaging like that on social media. It's not really talking to anybody. But when I say, you know, I'm a weight loss coach that specializes in working with men that are between 50 and 60 who have started working out and they really just can't lose that last 10 pounds. And I start putting content together that's all about speaking to that individual group. I'm cutting out a lot of other people, and that people get very nervous when it comes down to cutting out other people. But when I do craft content that speaks to that group of men, they really are listening. If I put recipes out there, if I put exercise tips out there that are just for them, they're going to say, hey, this was just for me. And they're really going to listen. So once you do that, and once you've started your social media journey and you really do kind of, you know, get going on that, you certainly can expand into another, you know, group of people. So it's not like you're trying to pigeonhole yourself forever by just saying, you know, well, this is the group that I'm going to talk to. This is just so you can start out in the beginning and then start crafting some content that really speaks to that individual audience. Okay, so here on our little paper. So number one, what is your goal that you're trying to achieve on LinkedIn? And who can help you achieve this? And then again, what problems do you solve? So take a minute and jot down some of those things right there. For our example, we're going to use an IT and cybersecurity company. Okay, so what is the goal? This is my company. My goal is that I want more IT and cybersecurity prospects, right? Who can help me achieve this? Well, we are in Massachusetts and we really focus on Boston and we really focus on accounting firms. We have a lot of accounting firms that we do IT and cybersecurity for. Okay, what problems do we solve? We specialize in, this is so tiny, working with the local accounting firms, ensure employees can seamlessly do their jobs, protect their organization's computer-related data and devices and data. So that's what we do, right? Okay, so again, this is my goal. I'm an IT company. I would like some more prospects. And who can help me with this? I'm very, very geographically specific. So it's going to be accounting firms around Boston. Okay. And then what problems do I solve? Like the ones I just rattled off. So now we know exactly what our goal is, right? Exactly who we're trying to serve and exactly what problem it is that we solve. So if you can jot all this down and then just kind of really be kind of, again, niching down as much as you possibly can, it's going to help you for when we get to what we're going to be doing next, which is the messaging. Now, this is going to be a little bit similar to what we just went through, but it's a little bit different too. So on another piece of paper, or if you have room on your paper, just write down, I do, what do you do, for, who do you do it for, that results in, what does it result in, all right? So here's our example. I do IT and cybersecurity for small accounting firms in Boston, Massachusetts. That results in secure data, safer work environment, increased employee efficiency, and lower liability risk, okay? So you dump all this stuff down. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this information and we're gonna turn it into a message that we can use over and over and over. So here's a sample message from that whole thing. Hi, John. Wanted to introduce myself. My company, ABC Tech, focuses on IT and cybersecurity for small accounting firms in the Boston area. Now you already know, in this case, I already know that this person is in the Boston area, because why would I be reaching out if they were like in Wyoming, right? Okay, we ensure organizations can have a safe work environment, secure data, and systems running smoothly, so they are fewer things to worry about. Attached is a top 10 cybersecurity tips for accounting firms. Again, very specific. This guy owns an accounting firm. He's probably going to be interested in what are the top issues that I need to make sure I'm protecting myself against for cybersecurity. So if you look at this, we know who we're talking to, right? The accounting firms in Boston, what it is that you do, IT cybersecurity, that results in, and then you have free content in there. That's something that's going to be helpful to the individual. And one thing that we probably all know, but is that being salesy, it doesn't work. Not that it ever really worked, but it definitely doesn't work nowadays. And how we really start to get people to think about doing business with us is by providing them with very, very helpful free information that's going to make their life a little bit easier. Some people say, well, I don't want to give away information for free. And I said, well, you should. I mean, that's what I've been doing for years and years and years. And it's definitely helped me create a lot of relationships that I probably would never have been able to create. So by providing a little, top 10 cybersecurity tips for the accounting firm, that kind of a thing, and then posting that maybe as a LinkedIn post, or, making a couple of different things around that you can then post onto LinkedIn, is going to be very, very helpful. And it's going to help you start to they're going to learn to like you. They're going to learn who you are. You're going to start to show that you are an expert in this area. And that's really, really what you want to do. Because then when they're thinking, I'm kind of in the Boston area, I have an accounting firm, and we need a new IT company, you're going to come because you're going to be top of mind with these people. So that's what we're trying to do. So now this one message that we have here, right? We're going to use the same message for number one when we send out our connection requests, because you always want to send a message when you send out a connection request. And then also we want to reintroduce ourselves to some of our current connections. And we're going to get into that when we talk about what our very specific strategy is. So by having this message already done, now that was a lot of work that we got to there, right? But at the same time, by having all this stuff done ahead of time, and then when you go to jump into your 15 minutes per day, it's going to make life a lot easier, a lot easier. Okay, so we have this message. And again, you can also, I hate to say this, but you could go to ChatGPT and you could say, what are the top 10 cybersecurity risks for an accounting firm? And, it will spit something out and at least help give you like a framework for, what you could be putting on there. So that's something else that you could, come up with, so that way you have something that you can give them. And then, make 5 or 6 different ones. So then throughout the year, when you're reaching out to different people and reaching out to the same people, you have different things that you can be providing them with. So food for thought. All right. So now what we want to do is we want to make a list of who do you want to connect with? No one else does. Who do you want to connect with? Again, going back to, are they small business owners, big business owners? What are they? Is there a specific individual within an organization that you really think you should be getting in front of? What information would you be giving to that person that would be helpful to them, right? So you can either, like, let's take my small accounting firms in Boston. If I go into Google and I type in accounting firms, Boston, Massachusetts, and then boom, up comes the map. If I want to, on that left-hand side, I can just jot down all those different accounting firms. And then I know these are people that I now want to go look at their website, check out who the owner is, if that's who I think I should be talking to, and then look up those people on LinkedIn, and you'll see if they're active over there. And then that's one way that you can then connect with them and start a little micro relationship. So that's one thing. You can go into LinkedIn and just go into the search bar and you can type in, accounting firms, and then you can click on people, companies, posts, anything, along those lines. And then I'm sure you have a contact list, maybe your email list, or, people in your business phone, that kind of a thing. However it is, we want to make a list of these people so that ahead of time, now we're going to have our messaging done, and we're going to have the list of people that we're really trying to reach out to. Okay. And then for when you're going to reintroduce yourself to some of your connections, you want to sort through your connections. So let's say you go to your connections in LinkedIn, and then there's filters in there, and you can sort by industry, location. I don't remember what else it is there, but if you go into connections and you click on the top where it says filters, you can sort through things. So in this situation, I'm an IT company, cybersecurity company. I'm going to click on there, and I'm going to look for all of the accounting firms that are in my connection. And then I'm going to use that same message that we just had. I'm going to tweak it a little bit, and I'm going to send it out to them just to say, hey, I'm just going around reintroducing myself to some of my connections that, I haven't reached out to before. And, wanted to kick off the new year by doing this, whatever you want to say, something like that, something light and friendly. That's what we need to remember. Everything that sounds scripted and, very, very robotic, people don't respond to that nowadays. And I'm not saying you want to be casual, like sloppy casual, but you do want to just talk to them as if they're a person. And it's going to get you a lot further than some of these messages that I get. Like I said, the 12 paragraph long one, but even just the way they're written, it's very, very, very robotic, very like this, And I mean, for me, maybe it's my personality. I don't know. It just doesn't resonate with me. So whatever your personality is, let it shine a little bit through some of your messaging. All right, so here's the avatar. So these are people that I want to connect with, right? So I've made my list. I got Joe Schmo, I got Pete Smith, Debbie Jones, and I have the name of their company over there, okay? So I got this list now. Now these are the people I'm going to go try to find in LinkedIn. Oops, hold on. All right, so now here comes our strategy, our 15 minutes. So what we have is we have our messaging of what we're trying to say. We have a list of people that we want to reach out to. We've identified exactly who our avatar is, who is the person that we're trying to reach out to. So we know who that is. So now we can really, really hone in 15 minutes each day, having that information done. So it does take a little bit of work, like we just went over, before you start your 15 minutes, but it's going to be, time well spent. So now we look at your 15 minutes. Okay, so first thing you want to do is you want to scroll through your news feed. And you want to go through and you want to like some of the posts that are up there, things that resonate with you. You want to put a comment if it's something that you feel appropriate that you can respond to, and maybe share something. If somebody writes a really interesting article and you want to share it with your connections, you can just hit the share button and then it will repost to your feed from that person's original post. So that's something that, and it's people that normally just scroll and don't click like, don't do any of that stuff. They get very nervous when I say, oh, you have to interact. And listen, I get it. I totally get it. I didn't know how to do any of this stuff either when I first started. But this is going to get you in the habit of starting to get into that groove of that LinkedIn, interacting and commenting and all that kind of stuff with people that are in your feed, that are people that you are already connected with, right? So that's 3 minutes. So now we're going to take the next 3 minutes, we're going to go into the messaging. Did anybody write you back? Anything, review and respond to any messages that you have. Then the next little section we're going to do is we're going to take one avatar from that list, one person we want to get in touch with. We're going to search for their profile. We're going to take a look at it, and then we're going to send them a connection request. And you're going to include a personalized note that's going to be based off of that one message that we came up with a few slides ago, right? And let's say when you review their profile, you see something, I don't know, they have something on there, a Red Sox logo, and you say, well, I love the Red Sox too. You can say something like that, right? So by reviewing their profile, you're going to get a little bit of a feel for what their personality is like. So that should be helpful. All right, so that's the one avatar. Then what we're going to do is in the next section, we're going to reintroduce ourselves to 3 people in our current network. And like I said, we're going to take that same kind of message and we're just going to put a little spin on it saying, I'm reaching out to my network, trying to reintroduce myself or reach out to people I haven't reached out before, just that kind of thing. And again, you're not adding to the end of it. And by the way, do you need any cybersecurity or IT help? You're not doing that. You're just reaching out to them, just saying, hey, blah, blah, blah. This is what I wanted to reach out to people that I'm already connected with that I haven't had much interaction with. And again, if you have, like the free little top 10 tips for accounting firms, you can give that to them. That'd be helpful. All right, next little section, we're going to search for groups. Groups is a great place to find people you are looking for because it kind of, it's a group within this huge LinkedIn world. So if you think, okay, well, what would my accounting firm people be interested in? I don't know, maybe they're interested in new tax laws. So maybe there's some things on there, some groups on there that are talking about tax laws or, something like that. I don't know. Look, if you put accounting into the search bar and you hit groups, a whole bunch of stuff is going to come up. And then you can, look at some of them. Some of them will allow you to see some of the stuff. Some of them are marked private. So some you can just join, some they have to let you in, but, go through and find a couple of these things and then go into the group once they let you in. And you're going to just see what's happening. What are people posting? Is there anything you can add value to? And again, if you're an IT or a cybersecurity company, there's probably a lot of little things that you can just kind of, add into a comment. Let's say, I don't know, somebody posts something with their new building, and you want to talk about, hey, just remember, cybersecurity is security isn't just cybersecurity, it's also physical security or whatever, something like that. But it's a good way to start these little tiny micro relationships. And this is all before you've even posted anything, which we're not going to talk about posting anything today, but I just wanted to let you know that this is a way that you can start interacting with some people. And, maybe the third time you've interacted with them, they'll be like, oh, that guy, he always likes my posts, or he leaves a comment on my post. And it may not sound like it's important, but a lot of that is important to people. It really, really is. If they say, well, this person keeps popping up around here, what do they do? Maybe I should go look at their profile page, that kind of a thing. So that's what we're trying to do. All right, so we talked about the group. So that's your 15 minutes that you're going to be doing every single day. And the more organized you can be with this, the better. Because when you can just hop in 15 minutes and then on with your day, it's going to be a lot easier than, where's that list? I lost the piece of paper, that kind of a thing. All right, so if all of this sounds like this is way too overwhelming for you, I'm here to help. So I have my online academy and with the live weekly coaching calls. So this one here, the LinkedIn game plan, this is what we're going to cover. We cover a ton of stuff. So we're going to talk about identifying exactly what is your unique value proposition. Why should somebody go to you versus your competitor, right? What is it that you're doing differently? What is it that you offer that's different that you can showcase and highlight, that kind of a thing? And then again, we really niche down who it is that you best serve. So we know who we're trying to talk to. Then again, we come up with a little summary, who we're trying to talk to, what are we trying to say to them, and why should they do business with you, right? So that's great. Now we have a lot of stuff summed up there. The next module, we get a professional LinkedIn banner, just like our winner is going to get at the end of this. And we have a structured layout for the LinkedIn About section that kind of walks you through, because I think sometimes people, they don't know what to do with the About section. And everybody knows that everybody is writing their own About section. So it's kind of, some people are very, flattering to themselves, I guess you could say. But anyway, it gives you a structure of things you should kind of just remember when you're going through the About section. Our team looks over the About section when you're done with it, just to kind of like give a little, thoughts and all that kind of stuff. And then we talk about how to create content that's going to grab your prospects' attention. Because again, we want to give them some free content, free help, all this stuff free, so that they start to really see us as an industry authority. And that's the name of the game. And what we really need to do is ask ourselves, are my competitors doing this? Because chances are, if you look around on LinkedIn at your competitors, they're not doing anything. Because this huge world of a billion LinkedIn people, there's less than 3% of people are doing anything, putting an article, typing a whatever, just a regular text post, doing a video. Forget video. Video is like, I don't know, 1/100% of people are doing video. I'm not saying you need to do video, but if you can start creating some content that is going to be helpful and really speaking to who you're trying to get in front of, that's going to be helpful, and it gives you a strategy. All right, then a team leader promotional video. This is huge. So this is me interviewing the team leaders. And what it is, it's about 15 to 20 minutes long. And in that interview, we're talking about exactly what you want to highlight. Who are you? What is it that you do? Why are you so great? All that stuff. And we have this beautiful piece that winds up being a nice video that you can have on your website, that you could send off to new prospective clients, that kind of a thing. And the best thing is you get that. You get an MP4 version of that, and you can cut it up, and you can cut up. So it's looking like you're creating video content, but you were just in an interview. So that's a really great piece for people, especially that are a little intimidated to do video, which is most people. So that's that. Module 3. So we have very simple outreach messaging that's personalized to you. So we have templates for that. We have tracking devices, not tracking devices. We have tracking templates, so you can track your daily activity log. What exactly are you doing, so it's not lost, 1 week down the road. We have an avatar contact list template. We organize the files and outreaching messaging, so you have everything nice and neat. This is this message that goes to this group of people. This is this message that goes to this group of people. All that kind of stuff. We talk about how does the algorithm work. All social media platforms have an algorithm, and the name of the game is they want people to stay on that platform, right? So what they do is they make sure that they're serving them content that person finds very interesting. So if your content is interesting, LinkedIn is going to help spread your message. If your content is not interesting, LinkedIn is definitely going to not spread your content. So we talk about all those little things there. And then we go over just the best practices of what you really should do to help maximize everything you can get out of LinkedIn. And then you have access to the online academy, and you will have access to the online academy for 12 months. So that's a good little thing. So all this normally is $14.97. People that are attending this, they're getting a one-time special discount of 50% off. It's valid for 48 hours. And I am going to put the link in the comments here. Let me check the comments. We have some comments. Oh, we have comments. Hi, everybody. Okay. Oh, somebody from Saudi Arabia. That's exciting. All right, let's see. So I'm going to put in here, I'm going to copy two things. I'm going to put in a link if you'd like to purchase this at the discounted rate. There's going to be a link right there. You can go in and you can hit purchase, and then you will start getting emails and everything and access to the online academy. And then we also have weekly calls. That's probably the most important thing I forgot to mention. We have weekly calls that we go through and we discuss questions that you have as you're going through the game plan boot camp. So you have access to me live. We talk, we talk about different little things, give little lessons, that kind of a thing. So that's also important too. So I'm going to put in there a link for that if you decide you want to purchase. I'm also going to put a link in there if you would like to book a free 15-minute call that we can talk about, what it is you're trying to do, see if this is an appropriate game plan for you. Oh, that makes sense. Meaning the game plan. Anyway, see how we can help, and what will work, maybe what wouldn't work. So that kind of a thing. So I'm going to put these links in here now. Here we go. Here's going to be the first one. That's going to be, if you want to purchase, hopefully it pops up. If somebody can just let me know if it pops up, that would be great. And then here is going to be the link to book a call with me. We can talk about what you're doing. Okay. Nope, that's the wrong one. Here we go. Calendly. Here we go. Copy. These nice comments. That's very nice. Thank you, Daniel. Okay, so hopefully okay, yes, Chrissy said that she can see both of the comments. So anyway, so that is it. So that is where we are with our presentation. Hopefully this was helpful and it helped you kind of, put together a little bit of structure as opposed to just, hopping on LinkedIn in the morning and not really having any kind of, real strategy as to what you're going to do. So that is it. We're going to talk about who the winner is from last week's event. Look, I don't know if you can see, it says winner. It's too bright there. But anyway, it says winner on there. So this is the person that's going to be getting a professionally crafted LinkedIn banner. I will be reaching out and getting all the information that we need. And the winner is Angela Jenkins Evans. I don't know if Angela's here or not, but congratulations, Angela. You won. I'll reach out to you. So that's that. And so next week, what we are going to be doing is we're going to be doing another LinkedIn Live event, and it is going to be on how we can use AI ChatGPT to help us create content and some stuff that we can get out to our prospects that will be helpful to them. So that is going to blow your mind away. I can't believe it. Every time I go into that thing, I'm like, whoa. So anyway, so it's going to be a really handy thing, and hopefully you can join us. And thank you so much for everybody spending the time today, and I hope to see you next week. Bye-bye.